I could go on for hours, minutes, days, seconds, passing, each one a blessing, a lesson. Let us learn them. Let us pour into ourselves and each other so we keep flourishing, because we need to bring that fresh water, the pureness, the alkalinity, the HP of 7.0 or larger. Let's say we're pH balance of 14. That means we're highly alkaline, highly jiving, highly thriving. Now, if all of our food that we ate was all alkaline, that would make us get elevated. We'd probably blast off. We'd probably start flying around. We'd probably hardly be able to touch the ground. We'd be so lit and elevated that we'd be hovering and floating. Well, I'm telling you, all we need to do is stick to what is truly known for you. And if that's eating a dank stew, that's all vegetarian, vegan based plants, good for you. You know it's gonna give you a little elevation. But so are them fresh fruits and those lively plant foods like salads and yummy deliciousness that is so good for our body and our system, and so good for our being. I know that I've been trying to level up my being lately, but I haven't been choosing the right things sometimes, the right choices when they're presented. Sometimes I close off, hinder myself, forget how to connect. I just disconnect, turn off, coil inward. That's not what I want. That's not what anybody wants. Nobody wants to do that. Nobody's. I mean, it is what it is. We all disconnect sometimes. We all feel separate and like we don't fit in, or we're not good enough, or all these things that can hinder us from being who we want to show up as. And lately I've been struggling with my own issues, my own ego, if you want to call it that. My protective personality has just been getting all up in my way and leading me astray from my day-to-day, what I know to be true, what I know is me, what is truth, which is verity. I know that there's a lot going on in my life, and I just want to retreat sometimes and be like, blah, blah. I can't do it no more. Just want to give up. But I could never give up, because that's not the move. It truly smells like death over here. Something is dead and rotting, and I can smell that. And so it's totally turned my nose into a different line of sight. I hope there's maybe it's just natural death. Everything dies. It's a normal part of life. You live and then you die. Isn't that a funny concept, though? I mean, whose idea was that? Alright, folks, you're going to go in. You're going to live. And then later on, at some point, I can't tell you when, but guaranteed, you're just going to die. It's all just going to fizzle out. Everything that you've worked for, everything that you've created, everything that you've done in your life is just going to end. And people are going to miss you, and they're going to have to go on without you. And you're just not going to be there anymore. Isn't that fucking crazy, mate? I mean, you come in here and start out in diapers and you can't say anything. We don't know the language. We're very confused, having a hard time. Well, not all babies have a hard time. Most of them have pretty rough rides in traumatic situations, pre-programming, predispositions. And then you're told, oh yeah, everything's gonna be good. And then one day it won't be. And you just won't exist anymore. What is the point in that? I mean, yeah, you could say we learn lessons and we go through life and we experience all these experiences and we have a really good time. So I ain't gonna lie, life's been heavenly. If you ask me, I mean, there's been extreme lows, extreme highs, very intense duality, let me put it that way. But I mean, what's the end goal? What's the ticket? What's the mojo that's gonna get me lifted to what do I need to do to transition? You know, like, what am I missing? What am I listening for? What am I looking for? What am I trying to do? What's the end goal? All I know is that life can be feeble. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but I believe it's whimsical. It's supposed to be just that. A moment in time, like a wrinkle or a ripple. It's just supposed to be there. You're supposed to be here. Think about all the people you impact and touch with your life. And you know, if you don't have a bunch of people in your life right now, start manifesting them. Start calling out for them. Start praying for them. Because there's people out there that need you and you need them. And it gets lonely when you're by yourself. It gets lonely when you're trying to figure it out alone. It's good to have people and connections and other like beings, reflections to help guide you home, to help you get where you need to go, to help you pursue your goals. People that inspire you and build you up and lift you up with some positive reinforcements. Because we're all kind of just like the lost guppies swimming around in the pond. We're all trying to figure it out. I mean, I really haven't come across somebody in all my years of living, which I'm still a young little squat. But I feel like by this age now, it's kind of like you got things semi-figured out. False. Yeah. And same when I look around. I look around and not one person has it figured out. Even all these people that think that they have all this great wisdom and they know a thing or two. Not to say that they don't, because they do. I'm just saying, they don't have any hard evidence that really is like the ticket to life, you know, like the why we're here, the what we're doing here. Because there's a lot of theories, yes, but like at the end of the day, what are we doing here? We are all just moseying about, having a good time, right? But I think there's something else we're supposed to be doing here. I think there's something other ticket, like going back to the ways of living, you know, the old ways, living off the land, living with the plants and the bugs and the bees and all of these things. I think we can commune in harmony, commune in communities, commune in large group systems that work, that actually flourish and thrive. Kind of like the old settlers, you know, the Indians and the Native Americans, excuse me. But, you know, there's a people that's coming here. A new kind of people. And I think they're taking over in a good way. I think we've come to steward the land and come back to her, come back to Pachamama, kind of step out of this false old system, kind of re-nurture ourselves in the land, tend to it, live off of it. Oh man, none of it's familiar. Alright, gotta figure out where I'm at.